Paul Atanga gets to a gas station and stands there like a statue, a piece of a museum, and passes money to his friends, and Okada guys come and they are filling their tanks, and the moment you finish filling your tank, they give you 5,000 or 10,000, and Paul Atanga is standing there looking like the talk that he is. I'd like you people to give me your opinion on that footage. Let's see. Let's get that footage, please. Let's get the footage. Look at it. Look at Paul Atanga there. Look at Paul, a very holy man. You can see his face, and his head is all over the place like a thief who is worried he may be caught. Look at the way he turned his face. Look at that.
Lève la main. Petit, lève la main. Again, that is Paul Atanga in the Bafousam, trying to essentially bribe Okada riders to stay away from ghost towns. That is his way, the government's way of appeasing the people. Now look at this other video. This one is so strange. Atanga couldn't sit for a second without spinning his head to look beyond his shoulders, just in case somebody was coming to hurt him. Look at that. look at Paul Atanga there. The man is so afraid. Okay. All right. I'd like you guys to weigh in and give me your own opinion on that footage. Metro, let me start with you.
Thank you. Let me tell you the truth. In my days when I was a teenager in Cameroon, when we used to institute Ghost Town and going to the Liberty Square, Atanga was the person who used to paint cars and put them in the street. So what Atanga is doing today, to me, is nothing. I'm not surprised. To me, it's nothing strange to me. Atanga is just being Atanga. I know a lot of people. Some people, they don't know him. They'll be concerned and worry about. When I was a teenager, I did not even know. I used to hear Atanga. The government have given him money to put taxes in the road when we used to do goes down in Bamenda. So to me, what he's doing is just being a dangange. There's nothing different. And unfortunately, the Cameroon have got to that stage that we put people like Atanga in that position. I know ministers, I'm not saying they were not perfect. I knew Andre Chungi personally was Minister of Territorial Administration. I knew Aisi Ondo, I was a child. I have the picture when I was a child. But today, the government of the Cameroon is looking for survivor. They will do anything to put somebody like a criminal. I will call him Atangaji is a criminal. Somebody who will sit on social media and say, I will molinate people. I saw another program. They asked him, he went a French program. He's talking about Molinex. They said, tu utilises le mot Molinex. They asked him on that program, are you using that word Molinex? He said, no, Molinex is law and order. So why can Minister Atangaji not use that word? That word they call law and order. So we want to enforce law. What? He said Molinex. So I will grant you. When I look at Atangaji, what do I think about? I think about one person, Samuel Doe. Because the day the country will change, the people in the street, they have a Tanganji. He will beg them like Samuel Doe. Hello?
All right, all right. Reverend Kennedy, your opinion on Paul Atanganji, please. What you find?
Yes, Secretary Chris, please don't put that picture again because let me be a little bit focused. Because it's the way you see this guy, he's a crook that he is, and that video with him popping his eyes, looking over his shoulder, it very well exemplifies the kind of person that he is. Uh, Unfortunately for us, a lot of havoc was created in our region that was attributed to Ambazonian that this very guy Atangaji was responsible for. A whole lot of them. And I'll give you one seminal example. That one, mark this date. If you go, you watch what happened in Batibo on March 21st, 2020. That was the eve of the rerun of the parliamentary elections because because of the fraud, the Constitutional Council annulled the initial election and there was a rerun. If you see what happened in Batibo on the 21st, where the military was all over Batibo, but some people in the name of Amazonia were able to, some people in the name of Amazonia were able to, under the leadership of this guy that you see on the screen, they were able to organize a rally on the market square in Batibo on the 21st of March 2020. And what they were saying in that rally is that nobody should go out on the 22nd. That it means even if you had the urge to ease yourself, you ease yourself in your bedroom, don't go out. And do you know who profited from that strategy? It is the CPDM. Because by blocking people not to go out, the military went and voted on behalf of the people of Southern Cameroon. If people are doubting, this video that you showed in Bafousam, where you see Atanga standing and giving money, as Barrister Lisinge says, it's just being Atanganji. And by extension, it's just being Paul Biya. The election that has been rigged, it's no surprise to no one because it is in the DNA of these people. These people are crooks, they are thieves. The only way we can get these people out is by firepower, and my firepower is non-violent active resistance on the streets in Cameroon. What strategy can we do to maintain Cameroonians? Cameroonians can come out. We have seen that. But the issue is, how do we maintain them in the street? How do we keep the momentum once it erupts? Because the only thing that will bring this regime is not just an episodic moment of going out, but it is momentous moment that is prolonged.
All right. Shay, please, 1 minute, and then we'll open the phone lines.
Thank you once more, Comrade Chris. Each time you ask me anything about La République or civilians in La République, I get very irritated, and I don't know why you keep asking me this. Because if you have people, you talk about fighting, you give them strategies, and no one is taking any into consideration. Look at people who want change. And at the same time, on the day of it goes down for a leader whom they have said is a candidate for change, asking you to stay at home, but you prefer to go for 5,000. How do you expect change to come? People who cannot make sacrifices cannot have change. I'm talking about the footage of Atanga. I want you to know that there is, for me, I just see only one thing: fear. I don't see anything else. Once you are a criminal, you have committed all sorts of atrocity, you are guilty of the fact that you can be picked up at any time. Even he himself does not even trust the regime he's fighting for, because from the way he's looking, he's sitting there with his Etat Major, with all the security around, and he's still scared, looking at, I hope I'm not being picked, I hope I'm not being controlled for saying this and that. And it's the same thing when you see him in the street. It's like if a gun hollers, Atanga is gone. That's why he makes sure that wherever he is, nobody is taking him by surprise. And the last thing that I want to talk is about, you see, a divided, we talk about segmentation. And the last thing, the politicians in La République themselves are a problem. Because this is the time to rally together. But the only thing you see, why, when I see Reverend talking about the approach of Chiroma, everyone makes mistakes. But why should we capitalize on them than look at than taking the strengths of what they have? Where do you see his party leader sending a petition and at the same time withdrawing? What does that tell us? That there is something also wrong. We cannot be blaming just one party and forgetting the next, because there are things that you see that people have also taken sides. If we want change, let us get change. And I thought that this election for La République was not about Osi, it wasn't about Cabal, it wasn't about Chiroma. I thought it was about kicking Paul Biya out. And whoever kicked Paul Biya out was what mattered to us. And that's why we got involved. We got involved because we also want Paul Biya out, so that maybe we can get someone that can negotiate with us. And today we are trying to play blame game. Then I am saying that we have a long way to go. Thank you so much.